All right, guys, so we have some stimulus news, which means that we have no news. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it because I mean, these stimulus talks at this point, guys, is just it's a joke, man. It's a joke. Every time there's news, that means that there is no news. But at least this time, we have a bipartisan stimulus package. And before we get into that, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm sorry, I just can't, man. This is ridiculous. I just can't with these people. I don't understand how politicians can go on TV with a straight face and be like, we all agree that the American people need something, but then can never agree behind closed doors what actually do we need. So before we get into that, my name is Greg Foreman. You're watching A Black Conservative Perspective. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share A Black Conservative Perspective, aka a leftist worst nightmare. You can also follow me on Twitter at GForemanBCP. But right before we get into this, guys, you guys know I'm currently fighting the war on flushable wipes. That's right. Flushable wipes clog your pipes. They can cost your local municipality millions of dollars per year to clean out those pipes. It could also cost you thousands of dollars in plumbing bills if you're currently using those wipes. My solution to this problem is called Ashi. Ashi is an eco-friendlier alternative to flushable wipes by transforming your toilet paper into a flushable wipe. It is very simple, elegant, sleek design that will look great in any bathroom. So if you're interested in upgrading your wipe and or looking at an eco-friendly alternative for flushable wipes, check out Ashi at ashihome.com. 10% of net proceeds will go to Toys for Tots. Let's get it. All right, so like I said at the beginning of this video, we have some stimulus news. And today, there was framework of a bipartisan relief bill that was released that includes $288 billion in small business aid, such as the Paycheck Protection Program, $160 billion in total and local government relief, $180 billion to fund a $300 per week supplemental unemployment benefit through March. It will put $16 billion into vaccine distribution, testing, and contract tracing, funnel $82 billion into education, and put $45 billion into transportation. It will allocate funds for rental assistance, childcare, and broadband. However, this proposal, which is basically a total of $900 billion, will not include a direct payment to most Americans. It also would offer temporary federal protection from coronavirus-related lawsuits, a provision Democrats have opposed, while states determine their own laws. Okay, so this came out today, and I actually was going to do a video on it. But lo and behold, before the news could even settle in, Mitch McConnell has came out and rejected the bipartisan bill. Listen to his reasoning for rejecting this bill.
So why wouldn't a bipartisan proposal that could potentially also pass in that body be a better way to go?
Yeah, we just don't have time to waste time. We have a couple of weeks left here. Obviously, it does require bipartisan support to get out of the Congress, but it requires a presidential signature. And this government is in place for sure for the next month. And I think the place to start is, are we actually making a law, or are we just making a point? And I think the way you make a law for sure is you know you've got a presidential signature. So we'll see how it goes forward. I think the one thing we all agree on, as I said, waiting till next year is not an answer. We need a targeted relief bill, including things that we can agree on.
All right, guys. So basically what he's saying is that it's too much money, right? That's the simplest, most fair way that I can put it to you. Mitch McConnell, from basically day one of this second stimulus bill talks, has supported about $500 billion in new aid and what he calls a targeted relief package. And I believe in that press conference, he's basically saying that he spoke to the White House and President Trump, and he's implying very strongly that President Trump would not sign that $900 billion plan, which to me is a very interesting assertion, because President Trump has repeatedly come out and said that he wants to spend more money than even the Democrats do on the stimulus, right? So to me, I just find it interesting how he just walks out here and just gives this answer where he says we don't have to waste time. We need to pass something bipartisan. But yet you have something bipartisan and you choose just not to pass it. You don't even give it consideration. I mean, it literally came out today and he's already rejected it. So right now, McConnell, said that they're focused on a must-pass spending bill and pandemic relief provisions that will all likely come in one package. Congress needs to approve funding legislation by December 11th to avoid a government shutdown. So that's primarily what they're focused on right now. They're focused on keeping the government open and deciding what the federal government budget is going to be for next year. And they have to get that done before December 11th. Otherwise, the government shuts down. So if I just had to guess based off of what's been going on here lately, I would assume that the government spending is going to be a lot more important to them and figuring that out than the actual stimulus package. And to be quite honest with you guys, at this point, I don't know where this stimulus thing is at. I don't know how you're going to get from $2 trillion plus, which apparently the Democrats have not budged from, down to $500 billion, which it looks like Mitch McConnell refuses to budge from. So I really don't know how they're going to ever come to an agreement on this. I really don't. And at this point, it just seems to me that they're playing games with the American people. And I get it. Some of you guys don't want more stimulus. Some people just want the country to open up and let's just go back to normal. Let's stop spending government money. And then there's some people like me who kind of have that middle ground where I'm like, should we spend $2 trillion, especially with these vaccines on the horizon? Probably not. But should we spend probably $1 trillion plus, maybe 1.3 trillion, 1.4 trillion? Yeah, probably. I think this bipartisan bill is actually pretty good. I would just have direct payments to American citizens because that would provide instant relief to people who are out of work and have been put behind the 8 ball by these shutdowns and this virus. Let's just get people some instant relief, because some people who want to work just can't work. Okay. And those people need help too. And Congress playing games with people, playing games with people's lives while they continue to get paid their $100,000+ a year. Their money never stops. I believe the politicians still get paid even if the government shut down. It's funny in a bad way. It's not even in a good way. It's funny in a bad way just how inept our politicians become when it comes to getting help for the American people. When it comes to helping you out, all of a sudden the politicians can't do nothing. They go on TV and they all agree with each other. We need to get help for the American people. We need stimulus now. Jerome Powell, even the Fed guys coming out. Get that stimulus out, guys. You need stimulus. Trump, get stimulus. Let's do stimulus. Go big, stimulus. But for whatever reason, all parties involved agree that we need something. But for the last 6 months, none of them can come together and pass a bill at all. You have Mnuchin, who is talking to Pelosi, but at the same time, McConnell was supposed to be taking over the stimulus talks. And it's just a mess. Every time you look, there's a new negotiator on the Republican side, and it's not sure in terms of who actually is leading these negotiations and where they're going. So, at this point, guys, like I said, I'm going to continue to cover it because stimulus is something that is substantial, and it's something that if it is passed, it will affect the average person immediately. So it's something that I feel like I have to cover. But man, oh man, I am getting frustrated with this process. I'm frustrated with our politicians. I think the group of politicians that we have in Washington right now, on both sides, are the most incompetent human beings I've ever seen in my life. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.